Hey guys, Churchy here. So in this guide, I want to show you how to make yourself a ridiculously powerful character in Morrowind in just a few hours. A quick note, I'm playing OpenMW with the graphics overhaul mod list installed, therefore the appearance of some locations and navigating through them may be slightly different than vanilla Morrowind. If you are playing vanilla, you may find some things in slightly different locations or may have to navigate some areas a little bit differently. These changes are for the most part just cosmetic, and the information in the guide should generally be valid for and adaptable to vanilla Morrowind. Also, throughout the guide, drink restore Magicka potions as needed. You'll have plenty to use along the way, and we'll end the guide with a way to make as many as you want. There will also be a link to a written version of the guide in the video description. And lastly, during this guide, I'm sure I'll butcher some pronunciations somewhere. With all that said, let's get into it. You can make whatever character you'd like to and still follow the guide. Some numbers and resistances may just look a little bit different depending on your character. If you want to follow what I'm doing, here it is. Nords have great resistances and male Nords have a great base movement speed because of their high weight, so I'm going to be a male Nord. So my class specialization will be Magic. My favorite attributes will be Intelligence and Willpower. My major skills will be Conjuration, Illusion, Alteration, Restoration, and Mysticism, and my minor skills will be Blunt Weapon, Heavy Armour, Block, Athletics, and Armourer. And my class is going to be Magus. And the birth sign is going to be the Atronach. This is an incredibly powerful birth sign, and we are going to take measures in the guide to ignore the downside. So a quick piece of advice, during character creation between your major skills and minor skills, you should try to have a skill for each governing attribute if you can, and in your misc skills, you should be trying to do the same. This makes training and optimizing attribute gain on level ups easier to do. And what I mean by this is just, you can see Conjuration, governing attribute Intelligence, Illusion, governing attribute Personality, Alteration, Restoration, and Mysticism, they're all Willpower, Blunt Weapon, governing attribute Strength, Heavy Armor, Endurance, Block, Agility, Athletics, Speed, and there's another Strength one. So the only one I'm not covering there is Luck, but Luck's its own thing anyway. We're going to grab our papers, take those, and then we'll come over here, grab that platter, quickly open your inventory, drop it on the ground. The guard will come up, just say goodbye to him once he talks to you. Pick up the platter again, you'll be fine to do that. And we're just going to go straight out the door here. And then grab the ring from this barrel here. Come in here, talk to this fella about Morrowind, then duties, and you should basically be fine to go once you've clicked about duties. Come out here. Now talk to Fargoth, give him his ring. So we're heading over to the trade house now. We're going to sell the platter and buy resist Magicka spell. So we sell that, that's fine. And we just buy this resist Magicka spell. Cool, come back outside, and now we are going to pick some mushrooms for Ajira. And we need one of each, a Luminous Rosella, a Violet Coprinus, Bungler's Bane, and a Hyperphacia. So we'll grab a Luminous Rosella, we'll grab a Violet Coprinus, we'll come over to this tree, and we'll grab a Hyperphacia, and then we will grab a Bungler's Bane. And here are our mushrooms. We've got our Bungler's Bane, our Hyperphacia, our Luminous Rosella, and we've got 2 Violet Coprinus. Alright, now we are going to head over to the Silt Strata and travel to Balmora. And now we're going to head down here and make our way to the Mages Guild. Okay, so we're going to join the Mages Guild, talk to Rannis, join the Mages Guild, yes. Then we're going to loot this supply chest, and we'll sell the scrolls, the books, and the soul gems to Galbadir here. So we're going to sell the book, sell these scrolls, and sell these soul gems, and that's fine, offer. And then we will head downstairs, and we're going to sell the Fortify willpower potions to Ajira. She's in this back room here behind her desk. So barter, and we'll sell these potions to her. Offer. And now we're going to buy the levitate spell from Marion Dren. And there it is. So we'll buy levitate. We had enough. Okay, and then we're going to make a custom levitation spell. So talk to Esther Darlin. And then go spell making. Levitate. And the range will be self. Magnitude will be 1. And duration will be 60 seconds. Okay. And I'm just going to call this floater. And now we're going to go back in here and ask Ajira about duties. She'll talk about mushrooms, talk about that, and then just click it again and say, yes, here they are, and you'll have them. Then she'll give us 4 cheap restore health potions. You can hold on to those for now. And then we're going to ask about duties again, then ask about bet with Galbadir, then ask about fake soul gem. She'll give you a fake soul gem. Now we're going to head upstairs. Galbadir is going to come down here, but we're going to go up to Galbadir's desk and steal all the soul gems and the platter. And optionally, you can put the fake soul gem in the desk. Alright, now we're going to head back downstairs, and we're going to use the teleportation service to go to the Caldera Mages Guild. So we come in here and talk to Massalini. Yes. Travel, Caldera Guild of Mages. Alright, so here we are in Caldera, and we're going to head downstairs and make our way outside, and then head to the right to the pawnbroker. He's just past the tailor. Here he is. And we're going to try and sell about 500 gold's worth of stuff. So we'll sell the soul gems, except just make sure you do not sell this grand soul gem with the winged twilight soul, because we're going to need that for an enchantment later on. But we'll sell these, sell that, 4.99, that's just fine. And we'll offer that. Head back outside. And return to the Mages Guild. Go back upstairs and then talk to this guy, Eremion, and we're going to buy a couple of spells from him. First spell is Bravus's Averted Eyes to get the invisibility effect. And then if you don't have a chameleon effect already, buy Golanar's Eye Maze. You might already have a chameleon spell if you're following what I've done on this character. So I won't buy it because I've already got chameleon and the chameleon effect. So now we're going to teleport back to Balmora. And we are going to make a custom spell. This time we're going to make a resist magic spell, and it's going to be range self, magnitude 100, and a duration of 1 second. And then I'll just call this equip resist, because it's something we'll be using when we're equipping magical items to resist some negative magic effects. Just magic 100% 1 second on self, buy that. And we're going to make one more custom levitate spell. And this one is going to be range target, magnitude 1, and duration can be 30 seconds. And call this one something like legless, because this is basically a spell that you can cast on enemies to slow them down to a walk. Alright, and now we've got that spell. So now we're going to teleport back to Caldera. So we'll travel back over there. And then we're going to head outside again.
What's this about?
And then exit town via this northwest exit. You can see we're up here, and we're going to head up this way. Okay, so follow the road northwest out of Caldera and keep on following it. Eventually you'll come across a naked bloke, and there's a signpost, and one of the signs is a sign pointing to Aldaroon, so follow that road. And then you're very quickly going to come across a second signpost. And this has a road leading left and right. And Pemini, who we're looking for, is just up the road on the left. So go left down here. And there she is in the distance. If you do encounter trouble on the road, just use the custom legless spell that we've created to deal with the threat. It doesn't work on flying enemies, so just avoid any cliff races. So talk to Pemini and talk about making a deal to escort her to Narmok and say, yes, I can take you to Narmok. And yeah, now we're going to continue northwest to Shorvar Horsemouth's house, which is this little cabin here. Just make our way there. And just make sure you're watching out for cliff races. And you can actually kill Pemini, but we need to head up to Narmok anyway, so... Now when we reach these hills, equip your custom levitate spell that you made. And then cast it. Doesn't matter if you fail, you'll be fine. And now we slowly but surely float over this hill. And Pemini will actually like make her way all the way around to us, and we're still just basically heading northwest. Just being cheeky and making our way over the hill. And we should see her running around here soon. Yep, there she goes. Now we just gently float down here. And eventually the spell will wear off and we'll move a bit quicker again. But we just float along and continuing that way. Because now we've reached basically where Narmok is. You can see it in the distance there. But yeah, you just continue northwest, west. And you'll very quickly find Narmok. There it is. And in this case, I'm heading slightly south. Slightly southwest. Okay. And we've got Pemini with us, and here's Narmok. And now we just head towards the town. And a dialogue box will pop up. And she thanks us for our help and gives us the Boots of Blinding Speed. And now we've got those. But before we equip them, just get the custom spell you made. The magic resistance one. Cast it really quickly. And then very quickly open your inventory before the effect ends. And then you can equip the Boots of Blinding Speed. And you'll get the speed bonus, but the blind won't affect you. That's because you only need the resistance when equipping items. And you'll now move very quickly, and your levitate spell will actually let you move a lot faster. Because we've got huge movement speed now. We started with 40 and we've got plus 200. Okay, now that we are moving very quickly, we're going to continue northwest from Narmok, out the back here. And you'll find some planks that are leading to a small island, and you can come across these. And then on this little island is the Ilunibi dungeon, Carcass of the Saint. We're going to go inside. You can equip Bravus's Averted Eyes, and then you can cast that spell as needed while you are in here to just remain invisible and avoid danger. But also your movement speed is going to make it very easy to avoid danger as well. So in the Carcass of the Saint, we're going to head down here, and then at the first intersection, we're going to go to the right. So we'll head right, and then this will just wrap all the way around, and then we're going to go into Marowak's Spine. Then in Marowak's Spine, at the first tunnel intersection, we are going to head straight. So here, we go straight, and then this is going to wrap around, and it's going to go left, and then it's going to go to the right over here, and we just follow it around. And then at this next intersection, we're going to go left into the Blackened Heart. In the Blackened Heart, we're going to head left at the first intersection. So once we come down here, we go left. And then at this next little intersection, we go left. And then at this intersection, we go straight up the stairs. And then we're going to enter Soul's Rattle. Okay, in Soul's Rattle, at the first intersection, we go straight. And then at the second little intersection, we head left past the torches. And then we're basically in a room where behind a coffin on the left side of the room, we can find what we want to get, which is Randagulf's fists. And we can put those on. And then back on the right side of the room by another coffin trough thing is a pair of glass boots that are worth taking. And now we're good to go, and we can make our way back out of this dungeon. And then just make your way back to Narmok. Okay, so here we are in Narmok, and we are going to travel by ship and make our way to Vivec. So come down here and talk to the lady on the boat, and travel from here to Hlaod, and then from Hlaod to Vivec.
My time is precious, so make it quick.
Vivec Temple. Okay, here we are, and we've arrived at the temple, and we're going to make our way north to the Redoran Canton, and you'll pass the St. Down Canton on the way. So we'll cast the custom levitate spell that we made, and then we're just going to levitate north, and you can see we're in Vivec St. Down, or Dalian, and then we just continue north, and then this one will be the Redoran Canton, and we want to make our way to the top, so we're going to head up here. And then here we are.
What outland?
And now there's Sarin Manor, and across from that is Draylor Manor, and we want to head inside Draylor Manor. My graphics are glitching out a bit there, I don't know what's going on there. And we go left here, and then we head up the stairs, and then we open this door, and in this chest of drawers
Make it quick,
is
outlander.
this key. We're going to steal this. They'll go hostile, but it's alright. We won't get a bounty, and we can just head outside. And they won't aggro on us. Okay, so now that we're back outside, we're going to head across here. And we're going to head over here to this building in the corner. And this is the treasury, so we'll go inside the treasury. And then we're going to go down to the right here, and there's a door down to the vaults. So we'll head down to the vaults. And then we're going to go all the way down these stairs to the second floor here. The lowest part, and there's a guard through there, but we're going to unlock this with the key, and then basically what we want is for this guard to leave this room, and then we're going to shut that door behind him. So what you can do is you can try quick save and quick load to see if it will trigger him walking out. Okay, so now that the guard is out of the room, we can sneak and loot whatever we want. We're going to take all of the ebony gear and glass gear, and we're going to check these crates for some glass gear, and then take the gold off the table, and maybe a gold bar. So let's do it. Yep, some glass bits, nice, we'll take that. Nothing we need in here, nothing there. We'll take this gold. And maybe a gold bar. Yep, and our weight's getting pretty good, so that's fine. And now that we've got all that, we're going to head back outside. So back up to the treasury and back out here. And then we're going to cast our levitate spell and head northeast to the foreign quarter. So over here. We're going to make our way past this canton and head to the Silt Strider, which you can see in the distance there. And then we're going to travel to Balmora. Okay, so here we are back in Balmora, and we're going to head north across town to the temple. And then we'll head inside. Okay, so inside the temple, we're going to head through the door on the right and then head down the stairs on the left. And then at the bottom here, we're going to swing right and we're going to buy a couple of spells from Lithanio Hilalu.
I don't know how to find it.
So we're going to buy Civi Intervention and we're going to buy Recall. And then we're going to head over this side. And from Larara Omayan, we're going to buy the Mark spell. And there it is, and we had the money for it. Okay, so we'll head back outside. And then we're going to head to the Fighters Guild and join the Fighters Guild. It's just next to the Mages Guild here. So we'll head inside. And we go up these stairs. Talk to this lass. Join the Fighters Guild, sign me up. And now we're going to open the supply chest. And we will take the standard restore health potions. And we're going to pinch the repair hammers. And then we're going to use up the repair hammers. And basically you just grab them, put them on your character. And we're going to repair some stuff. First, focus on repairing the glass war axe. And then try and repair the ebony short sword as much as you can. And then if you've got some left, just try and repair maybe the glass dagger or ebony mace. Okay, we've gotten really lucky this time around, so that's fine. But the priorities first are the glass war axe and then the short sword probably. Okay, and now we've used up all the hammers, so that's perfect. So we will make our way back outside and head to the Mages Guild. And then we're going to head down to the teleporter service. And when we get here, we're going to cast our Mark spell. So we'll cast Mark.
So what's this regarding?
And that's that done.
Can we hurry this along?
And then just equip maybe your levitate spell again, if you want to. Just so you don't accidentally cast Mark again. And we're going to head back outside. And then we're going to head southwest out of town, which is down this way. And basically we're going to follow a little path beside the river here. I'll show you on the map in a second. So yeah, we're basically heading down along this. So we just follow this. And continue along. And we're going to pass some statues. And then there's a bridge. And we're going to cross that bridge. And this is basically heading southeast. And we're just going to cross straight across it. And keep heading this way. And just over here is the entrance to the Vasir Didanat cave, or mine. And we're going to just go inside and then instantly turn around and come back outside, because that's all we have to do. And then we're going to get our recall spell, equip that, and we are going to cast recall. If you need to, use a magic potion, and then you'll have the Magicka to cast recall. So we'll do that now. And bam! We are back at the teleporter service, and we are going to teleport to Vivec. Vivec Guild of Mages. So head down the stairs, straight, and then just up here on the left, up these stairs, and then on your right is a room. And then in the left corner of the room, in this entrance area, you will see a supply chest. So we're going to go to the supply chest and just take the scrolls and the restore Magicka potions. And that's all you should need from this. And then we're just going to head outside to the foreign quarter. So cast your custom levitate spell and then float east from Vivec. So we're going to go this way. So cast this, and let's go. And you'll eventually come across a Dwemer ruin called Mazanich, which is that one you can see in the distance there. You'll pass this Daedric shrine or Daedric ruin first, and then there's the one we're looking for. The Dwemer ruins. And then just to the east of the entrance, just avoid this cliff racer if I can. Yeah, just to the east of the entrance. I'll have to go around this way a bit more, I think, because the cliff racers are out in force today. But yeah, there's a small island just here, which is just east of the entranceway, which is there. And on this little island is a mud crab, and it is the mud crab merchant with 10k gold. Okay, so you've landed near the mud crab. Now move close to it and cast your mark spell. And now you can talk to the crab and barter, and he's got his 10k gold. So sell the ebony short sword to start for 10k. And then we'll pop a quick save and wait for 24 hours. And now his gold will have reset. Oh, it was a loud thunder crack. And now that he's got another 10k, let's just sell the glass war axe. So we'll sell that, and we'll just sell that for 10k, that's fine. And now we have 20k gold. So now what you want to do is cast Almcivi Intervention. And that is going to take us to Saran. So Almcivi Intervention has taken us to Saran because this is the closest temple shrine. But we're going to just head down into the town square sort of area and go into the smith. So come in here. And we'll talk to the smith, and we will barter. And we're just going to buy some repair hammers to repair the rest of our gear. If you need more while you're doing this, just barter and you can buy more, because in Morrowind, items that merchants have that are going to restock, they actually restock instantly. And in this case, the repair hammers restock. So I'll just buy like 20 total, because that should be plenty to do what I've got to do. And then just spam this and repair all the gear. The reason we're repairing everything is because if it's not fully repaired, it won't sell for full price. And there we go. And now I can just sell back the hammers that I didn't use. And that's fine. Okay, so now we've repaired our gear, so we're going to cast Recall and go back to the crab. If you need more Magicka, just use a Magicka potion. Okay, so we've cast Recall and we're back at the crab. Now, let's talk a little bit about the process of selling loot to the crab. So you wait 24 hours near him, that resets his money. And then you can barter, and you've already sold a couple of bits to him, but what you can do now is you can start selling higher value loot to him and then buying things back. And through a process of selling and buying things back, you can basically get your money's worth for every item, because what you can do is, for example, I can sell these ebony greaves for 22k, but then I can buy back the glass war axe for 12k. And I've already got 10k from that axe just before, but then obviously when I sell it again, I can get more money from it, which is basically making up the difference that I'm not getting from the greaves. So we'll do that. And you can just repeat this process as much as needed to sell and buy back until you've sold all of the loot and everything, and got yourself a hell of a lot of gold. One thing you should do while you're doing this is just keep a weapon of your choice equipped. In this case, I'm going for the Warhammer. I'm using blunt weapons. And that's just so while you're resting, if you get interrupted and attacked by an enemy, then you at least have a way to defend yourself. And if a Dark Brotherhood assassin attacks you, you can either kill them or load a quick save. They are worth killing because they drop some pretty good loot. And also the loot values that they have work as a good increment for when you're selling other things as well. But anyway, we'll wait for another 24 hours. Oh, speak of the devil. So we'll kill this guy, and I can show you exactly what I mean. Alright, well he's dead. So, we've got our journal entry update. Basically we can loot all this, and you can see that's like 2k, 1k, some other values. Although some of it's a bit damaged, so it won't be entirely full, but that's totally fine. But now we can sell more stuff to the mud crab. Actually, he's still got 0. If your sleep does get interrupted, just wait a few extra hours. to try and make it reach 24. I'll just wait till the next morning. Okay, he should have his money back. He does not. Okay, weird. Must have got interrupted like straight away. Surely he's got money again now. Yep, there we go. Okay, it's been 24 hours. So we'll sell some more stuff. This time I will sell this guy and this guy, and then I'll buy back the ebony short sword. 10k, beautiful. Oh, we're being attacked by something. That's fine. Kill him. Wait for 24 hours. Alright, cool. Does he buy that? No, that's fine. Offer. And, yeah. At this point, you should have a lot of gold. You can see I've got 210,000. But yeah, you'll probably have anywhere from like, you know, at least 100k to like 200k plus. Let's get ourselves some useful spells and spell effects. So cast Almcivi Intervention. And then we will travel from Suran to Balmora. So you just head on down here and you can see the Silt Strider over there. And now the first thing we're going to do is head to the temple. So we'll head across. And we'll make our way back downstairs. And then from Lathino, we are going to buy Cure Common Disease, Power Well to get the Fortify Magicka effect, and we will buy Vivec's Tears, which can cure Blight Disease. And then from Lara Omayan, we are going to buy Fortitude, and that will get us Fortify Endurance, which is a Fortify attribute, so it gets us the Fortify attribute spell effect. Now we're going to head over to the Mages Guild. So here we are in the Mages Guild, so we're going to head downstairs. And from Marion Dren, we're going to buy Dire Weakness to Fire, Dire Weakness to Frost, Dire Weakness to Magicka, Dire Weakness to Poison, and Dire Weakness to Shock. We're also going to buy Calm Creature and Calm Humanoid, Undusi's Open Door, and we'll buy Water Breathing, and if you haven't got it already, there's a Water Walking spell which you can buy, but this character has it because of starting with Alteration as a major skill. Now from Esther Darlin, we're going to buy some spells as well. We'll buy Firebite, Frostbite, Fuddle, Paralysis, and Shock. And then from Shangra Musgob, we will buy Balina's Soothing Balm. If you don't have a Restore Health effect already, this character does because Restoration was a major skill, so I've got Half Heal. But we're also going to buy Dispel and Spell Absorption from her. And then from Massalini,
I'm listening.
we're going to buy Soul Trap. Now we're going to teleport to the Aldaroon Guild of Mages. Okay, here we are in Aldaroon, and we're going to head straight. And then on the left here is some stairs. We're going to go up the stairs, and now we're in the entranceway. Just on the left here is a supply chest. So we're going to take the Restore Magicka potions and the scrolls from this chest. And then from Orant Giontene, we are going to buy some spells as well. We're going to buy Black Hand, that will give us the damage, health, and the poison effects. We're going to get Night Eye, Silence, Slow Fall, Sotha's Grace, which gets the Sanctuary effect, and Sotha's Mirror, which will give us Reflect. And we're also going to buy Telekinesis. Now we're going to open this door here, and then we're going to talk to Himla. And we're going to buy some spells from him as well, and that's going to be Armor Eater, Light, and Weapon Eater. Okay. We're going to exit the Mages Guild through this door, which is just to the left of the supply chest here. Okay, so here we are outside the Mages Guild, and we're going to head left, and then we're going to see a ramp, and we'll go up this ramp here. And then there's two ramps, one on the left, one on the right. We're going to take the one leading up to the temple rather than the giant mushroom, and we're going to go inside the temple. Okay, so here we are in the temple, and we're going to go through the door on our right, and on the left is a stairway, and there's a corridor, and we're going to actually go to the corridor and then go up the stairs and then into this room. And then from this fella here, Fulven Andalor, we're going to buy a bunch of spells. We're going to buy Restore Agility, Restore Endurance, Restore Intelligence, Restore Luck, Restore Personality, Restore Speed, Restore Strength, Restore Willpower. And we'll also buy Righteousness, because that gets us the Absorb Health effect. Okay, so now we're going to leave the temple and head back to the Mages Guild. And then we'll go back to the teleporter. And we are going to teleport to a Sadrith Mora Wolverine Hall Mages Guild. Okay, so here we are in Sadrith Mora in the Mages Guild, and I know for a fact that this area is different in vanilla compared to the graphics overhaul mod list I'm using. So it'll be a bit different navigating this part if you're in vanilla. But anyway, there is a supply chest just here next to teleporter. So we're going to take the Restore Magicka potions and the scrolls. And then we're going to head out this door here. Okay, so now we're outside, and I'm going to go left to this arch. And again, this is going to be slightly different if you're in vanilla. And we just come down these steps, and there's a guy here. And we go travel, Sadrith Mora. And now we're just next door. But basically we come up this ramp, and you can see there's a ship there and a ship here. We go to the one on the left. And talk to this person, and then travel. And then we're going to go to Talbranora. And now what we want to do is we want to head left to this big mushroom tower. And we'll just follow this ramp. And we're going to follow the ramp all the way up to the top, past this first entrance to the second entrance to the upper floor. Which is just here. Talbranora, upper tower, so we'll go inside. Okay, so inside the tower, we're going to go down these stairs, and we're going to go straight into this corridor and follow the corridor up. And then we're going to go through the door on the right here to the upper tower Therana's chamber. And then cast your custom levitate spell. And hover up here, and there'll be a guy in this room. Fallen Mayon. And then from Fallen Mayon, we want to buy Summon Golden Saint. So, buy that now. And now we will cast Recall. There we go, finally got it. And now we're just instantly going to cast Elmsivy Intervention. And then we'll travel from Suran to Balmora.
Where would you like to go?
And then we're actually going to head east from here towards a fort. So we just head east. And this is going to take us to the Moonmoth Legion fort, which is just there. Feel free to levitate over. But then as we come into this courtyard, we're going to go into the building on the left. The interior. And then we're going to head right. And we're going to follow these stairs all the way down. Open this door, head down further, and go in here. And then we're going to talk to this lass.
Anytime now.
And then from Solia, we are going to buy the Drain Athletics spell. And that is going to get us a Drain skill spell effect. Just nice to have. And now we're going to head back out to the courtyard. Okay, so here we are in the Moonmoth Fort courtyard, and we are going to do our levitate and fly southeast towards Pelagiad. And there it is in the distance there. Just gonna pop a Magicka potion so I can recast my levitate if I suddenly need to. So now if we just head to the back of this fort, and then we're gonna fly east, and you can already see it, but there is the Dren Plantation to the east, and that's where we're heading. Nice little loading area. Pause there. Okay. So we're going to land here by casting our Dispel spell. Just to kind of show you how that works. So if I do a Dispel. Plonk. And now we're on the ground again. So there's these two buildings at the far eastern side of the compound. The plantation, and the one on the right is Dren's Vela, and we're going to go inside this, and we're going to go through the left door, and then we're going to head down this left corridor, and then we'll go right up the stairs, and then we just hang right again and wrap around, and then we're up the top here, and here is Orvis Dren in this room, and you can see some nice stuff on the shelf behind him there. So what we're going to do is actually walk near him, get him to talk to us like he just did, and then he'll face this way. Pop a quick save too. And then what I can do is hide behind this pillar here. He can't see us, and we can safely take the Daedric Greaves, which is what we really want, and we're going to equip those. But you can also loot an Ebony Cuirass, and if you really want to, you can take the Indoril Helmet. But that's fine. We may as well equip the Cuirass for now as well. We will sell that later. But now we can head down one flight of stairs, and we can head out this door here onto the balcony. Okay, so here we are on the balcony, and we will cast our custom levitate spell, and then we are going to levitate south towards Vivec. So loop around this way. And then as we get towards Vivec, we're actually going to wrap southwest and head down to Ebonheart. And there's Ebonheart now in the distance. And here we are at Ebonheart. So once you're in Ebonheart, if you've already been attacked by the Dark Brotherhood, find a guard and talk to them. This will trigger a journal update, and then they'll tell you to talk to Apelles Matthias. Here we are. Yes, we've been attacked by the Dark Brotherhood. And there you go, talk to Apelles Matthias. If you haven't been attacked by the Dark Brotherhood yet, then head back out of town, across this narrow bridge, and then up past this lamppost here, and then you'll be in the wilds, and then you can rest, and then just rest, and you can just spam rest until a Dark Brotherhood assassin attacks you, and then you can kill them and loot the body, and your journal should update, and then you can talk to a guard about it. So, from the dragon statue back in town, we're going to turn right, and then we're going to go across this other bridge into the larger sort of fort area, and then we're going to head straight across here, and then we're going to head into the next little fort courtyard area, and Apelles Matthias is usually hanging out in here. There he is, going up the stairs. Alright, so now we'll talk to him, and then we talk to him about Dark Brotherhood, and then we talk to him about the mainland, and then he'll mention Asien Rane, and then we can go in here, across this bridge to the Grand Chambers, the Grand Council Chambers, and we'll go in here. Okay, so now we're in the chambers, and then we're going to go left, and then we're going to veer left again, and here she is here.
So what do you
So now we'll talk to her, And then we just talk to her about transport to Mournhold. And then we say to her that we've been attacked by the Dark Brotherhood and we want to investigate. And when we say goodbye, she will teleport us to Mournhold. Okay, so here we are in Mournhold. And we're in the reception area. Efete is the Argonian here, and he will teleport us back to Ebonheart when we're ready to leave. But for now, we're going to head straight through here and then to the left. And we're going to go up the stairs. And then we're going to go through the door at the top of the stairs here into the throne room. And then we're going to make our way behind the throne, and there is another door that leads to the Imperial Cult area. And now we're in the Imperial Cult Services, and we're going to go here, and these stairs just on the left, we're going to go down here. And then we're going to talk to Lorena Maria. Okay, and then from her, we are going to buy Masterful Fluid Evasion. Just any of these ones that fortify a skill. And now we have the Fortify skill effect. So, we're going to head back to the room with Efete. If we can get past that guard. Back through the throne room. Back into the reception area and down the stairs. And here we are. And now we're going to head straight across and out into the courtyard. And then we are going to go this way, over to this left side door. And out into the Plaza Brindisi Dorum. And we're going to head right along the wall. And then we'll go through this door here to God's Reach. And then we're going to head straight to this four-way intersection in the middle. And then we turn right and we go into this building, which is the Craftsman's Hall. And then inside the Craftsman's Hall, we're going to veer left and go up these stairs. And then this door on the right, we'll open that up. And in here is this fella, Albert Nermark. And from him, you can buy infinite Grand Soul Gems. So we're going to buy a bunch now. About 15 should do it for now. So we buy them and we offer them, that's fine. Then we just go back into the barter menu and we buy some more. And total cost, we make that offer, that's fine. And then we'll do it one more time. And yeah, whenever you need Grand Soul Gems, you can just come here and get them, just like that. Okay, now we're going to return to the Palace Plaza area and travel back to Ebonheart.
Justice Nelson. Well.
Alright, and now we're back in the palace sort of area, and we're in the reception area. And we talk to Efete and transport back to Vardenfell. Yes, and back we go. And now we can just head back outside. So, cross this bridge, back into the more sort of fort area of Ebonheart. And then we're going to head back out here into the main kind of town area. And on the left is Tarry the Enchanter. We're going to pop into the shop here and talk to him. And then we will buy some scrolls. We're going to get ourselves some a scroll of Elemental Burst Shock. That will be fine. And we also want to get Scroll of Red Death. We'll grab that, and we'll get a Scroll of Summon Flame Atronach, and that's totally fine. And now we're going to go back outside. And then we are going to head over this way, back across this bridge towards the dragon statue. And we're going to cut left here. Ooh, just loading some areas. We're going to cut left here, cast our float spell, our levitate spell. And then we're going to follow this channel along the side of the fort. And these couple of rocks here is where we want to go. We're actually going to jump underwater here. Dive underwater, I guess. And then we're going to go into the underground caverns. Now, there are some rats in here. You can just ignore those and float past them. But you should pop a quick save just here. Okay, so there's Furious. Just pop a quick save before you fight him. And then summon your Flame Atronach. And then equip the Scroll of Red Death. And then let's talk to him. And he is going to attack us. We'll cast the scroll on him. And then we'll very quickly fly away from him to avoid a big AoE that he's going to drop. And there it is. And then our Flame Atronach should be able to finish him, and we can just kind of hover up here away from him and just chill. And there he goes. And also, as you can see, there is some more loot up here. If you really want to grab it, you can, but we don't actually need any of this, so I'm just going to fly back down. What we want is this guy, the Lord's Mail, and we'll also grab the Demon Katana. And we can equip the Lord's Mail for now. May as well grab that Rising Force Potion. Okay, so now that he's dead and we've got the Lord's Mail, one thing that we just really quickly want to make sure is that we actually have 50 free weight available. So just dump any clothes that you're wearing that you don't need, like the pants and shoes and shirt. And then also in this case, we can also dump the gold ingot because we're not going to need that. And I'll also dump this platter because we really don't need that either. Also, if you need to, you can dump these cheap restore health potions. I may as well, we won't really need them. Okay, so now we're going to leave the cave again. And head outside. And I will pop a restore Magicka potion. And I'll equip the custom floating spell, levitate spell that we made. And now we've got that going. So we'll levitate. And we're actually going to head southwest from here. So we'll go this way. And you'll see some small islands. It's mostly south, like slightly southwest. And we're going to come to a little island. And it's going to have another really cool little dungeon for us to go into. So this small rocky island here. And this sort of larger rock kind of in the middle on the back side of it in the water. We'll just let it load in. So yeah, this rock here on the back side kind of the island. This has the entrance to Mudden Grotto, and we're going to go inside there. Okay, so here we are in the grotto, and we're actually going to cast our water breathing spell, and we're going to cast levitate again as well to move faster. You can hotbar some stuff if you want to, but for now I haven't bothered. So we'll cast water breathing, and then I'll re-equip my floater spell. Okay, so we've cast our spells. Now we head underwater. And you want to go left under this rock into the next chamber, and then in the next chamber you just go straight under and across. We'll levitate again so we're moving quicker. And then we want to go right here, and then down and straight. And here is the entrance to the Lost Dwemer checkpoint. So we'll head inside there. Okay, so we go past this first intersection, we just continue straight. And then at this next one here, we go left. And then we're going to follow this passage and go up this ladder here. It might be trapped, but it won't really matter, we'll be fine. And we can come up through here. And then on this skeleton is a key. We're going to grab that key. May as well grab this probe, and we'll also grab the Dwemer coins, and why not grab the gold? And you can loot these barrels and stuff if you want to, but, you know, you don't really have to. Now we're going to head back out into this tunnel. Okay, now we head back down the corridor from the ladder, and we backtrack to the right. And then up here we go right again, and we go up into this upstairs bit. And now on our right, and then right again. And there's this room. And this room has a table in the corner here, in the back right corner. We can unlock that with the key, and then we can grab this key to Mudden Dwemer Vault, so we'll grab that. Okay, now we're going to go right out of this room, and then we'll go right again, and we'll go down the stairs, and then at the intersection we're going to go right, and we're going to head all the way across, and just keep going straight, and then we'll come up here, and keep wrapping around and go up these stairs, and this is the entrance to the vault, so now we're going to use that key to unlock this and go inside. Okay, so here we are in the vault, and you can see there is a Steam Guardian just there, and he wants to fight us. So we're going to equip the Demon Katana, and I'll also equip the Demon Katana spell, and that will allow us to get a bound longsword for 60 seconds on stealth. And then what we're basically going to do is just kite around, maneuver around, and you can use levitate to float around more quickly without spending fatigue running around if you want to. And we just fight this Steam Guardian, and we have to kill it to get another key. So let's have a crack. And also you should have some kind of healing spell. So if you need to, like I kind of need to at the moment, I'm a little bit low. So let's cast our healing spell. Beautiful. And then I will equip my floater spell and I'll cast that. And now I'm feeling pretty confident and I'll start smacking him. It might take a little while to kill him, but it is good practice just like moving about and avoiding hits and, you know, just having fun speeding about and enjoying the maneuverability, you know? And yeah, you should probably quick save before you hop into this room. But yeah, as you can see, we are hitting him, and eventually we will kill him. There's another good hit. And another. And there he goes. We've got him. Alright, so now we loot the body. And we grab the Dwemer Guardian key. And then we go over to this closet. And we can open it with the key. And here is our prize, the Dragonbone Cuirass, which we'll put straight on. And that gives 100% resistance to fire. So now, as a Nord with the Dragonbone Cuirass equipped, you have 100% immunity to frost. You've got 100% resistance to fire, so you're immune to both of those. You've got 50% resistance to shock, and because we have the Atronach sign, we've also got 50 points or 50% spell absorption. So very, very powerful. And then also with the Lord's Mail as a backup, when you need to, you can, you know, carry that around with you and cast the spell that it has, the Lord's Mail spell, to give yourself some Magicka resistance. And you can also make some custom spells and stuff, but I'll leave you to do that yourself. Okay, so grab any other loot that you want in this room. There is a cool potion over here, Potion of Heroism. But yeah, there's some other random bits and bobs that you might want. It's up to you. But when you are ready and you've gotten all the loot that you want from the vault, cast Recall. Failed to cast. There we go. Got it on the second one. And now I'm actually going to sell the Ebony Cuirass that we picked up from the Dren Plantation. And I'm also going to sell the Demon Katana. So I will start by selling this guy. And then I think I'll buy back... Actually, we'll buy back one of these. There we go. Oops, I only wanted one. Cool, so we do that. Come on. Alright, cool. There we go. And now, once we've done that, and we're ready to go, we can cast Elmsivi Intervention. And then we will travel from Suran to Vivec via the Siltstrider. Assuming you went into the Vasir Didonat cave during the Balmora Bits chapter earlier in the guide, travel south from the Vivec Foreign Quarter to the Redoran Canton, and then southeast to the St. Olms Canton. So I'm going to cast the Levitate spell we made. Just got to have a Magicka potion, so we'll do that. So we just head south across here and fly over to the Redoran one, which is then here. And then we head southeast to this one here, which is the St. Olms Canton. And then if we head around to this far eastern door and come in this side into the plaza, then when we turn left, here is the Haunted Manor. So we go in here, and then we head over here down these stairs, and there is a locked door. So we'll equip Ondusi's open door, and we will open it. And now we go in here, and then through that door at the back of the room there is where we want to go. And we can talk to Drambero.
I'm waiting.
And then we can tell him about the Vasir Didonat mine, tell him the location, and then he will give us a Daedric weapon of our choice. We have a few choices. Axe will get you an axe, blunt will get you a staff, long blade will get you a katana, bow gets you a bow, Short Blade will give you a Wakizashi, and Spear will get you a Spear. On this character, for the theme of magic and everything, I'm going to ask for Blunt, so I get a Staff. Ah, Blunt Weapon, yep. Daedric Staff has been added to your inventory, and there we go, we got a nice Daedric Staff. Okay, so we've got our Daedric Weapon, and we're ready to leave. So you can either cast Recall and then get a Silt Strider from Saran to Balmora, but I'm going to just walk back out and have a little fly back up to the Silt Strider and go that way. So I'll levitate again, and then we just fly north, back to the Silt Strider, and away we go. And now we travel back to Balmora.
When you can ride.
So it's time we got somewhere to store our stuff, so we're going to head north from the Silt Strider, across town towards the temple. And then you'll reach this bit with these little arches, and there's a ramp on the left, and we'll go up the ramp, and there's 2 towers up here, 2 guard towers. Next to the one on the right, the first building past the tower, is the Halalo Manor, and we're going to use Ondusi's open door to open it up. And we'll head inside, and just on the left here is a nice crate storage area where we're going to store some stuff. You can also store stuff on this guy, and I'm pretty sure you can store as much stuff as you want on him. Just be careful doing that, because I think it can cause some save game issues or crashes if you store too much. And then upstairs there is actually some other rooms and a way out to Balmora, and there's a person in this little room here. And then you've also got a bed up here. So yeah, nice little home. But we'll just store a few things. So just for now, store the Lord's Mail, and also store the soul gems that we collected. You can store the other junk ones too. Just hold on to the Winged Twilight one, because we'll use that for some enchanting soon. Also, don't worry about containers respawning or anything. In Morrowind, pretty much every container is a safe container. So we're going to head back out and go to the Balmora Mages Guild. So we'll head back down here and head into the Mages Guild. And we're going to go down and talk to Estedalen and start making some custom spells. Just do a quick save before you talk to her.
Do you need?
Okay, so here we are at Estedalen, and we are going to do some spell making. So the first spell we're going to make is going to be called Be Calm. And we're going to do Calm Humanoid, and it's going to be range touch. And the magnitude, you only need 30 to actually calm any enemy in vanilla Morrowind, I believe it is. But we might as well do 100, just for any future-proofing if you want to like play with modded NPCs or anything that might need it higher. It's pretty cheap to cast anyway. So, and then the duration, we'll just set that to 5. Be Calm, Calm Humanoid, 100 points for 5 seconds on touch. 30 or, 100. Okay, the next spell we will make will be called Alchemist's Apex, and it is going to be a Fortify attribute. We're going to go Fortify Intelligence on South, 100, duration 1, and then we're going to go Fortify Attribute, Fortify Luck, Self, 100 for 1 second, and then we're going to go Fortify Skill, and that will be Alchemy, and it'll be on Self, 100, duration 1, and that is totally fine. Okay. Okay, so the next spell we're going to make is going to be called Sneaky, and we are going to make a Fortify attribute. That's going to be Agility, range Self, magnitude 100, duration 1, Fortify attribute, Luck, Self is the range, magnitude 100, duration of 1, and then we will do a Fortify skill. That skill will be Sneak, range Self, magnitude 100, duration 1. Then we are going to do Chameleon, and that is going to be range Self, magnitude 100, duration 1. And then we want Telekinesis, and that is going to be a range Self, and magnitude will be 15, and duration 1. That just means we can grab things that are 15 feet away. Feel free to tweak it more if you want to, but that should be enough. And we'll buy that one. And then we are also going to make another spell called Mr. Popular. And that is going to have Fortify Attribute Personality. And that will be on self, and that will be 100 for 1 second. And then it's going to be Fortify Skill, and that will be Speechcraft, self 100 for 1, and then Fortify Skill, and that will be Mercantile, self as the range, magnitude 100, duration 1. And yeah, that's that one. So we'll buy that. And then we'll make a spell called Saint 15, and this is going to be Summon Golden Saint on self, and it's going to be for 15 seconds. So duration 15. And then that's fine. And then we're going to make one called Saint 30, and that will be Summon a Golden Saint for 30 seconds. So the reason we're making 2 Summon Golden Saint spells is because the Summon for 15 one costs a little bit less to use and is easier to cast, but the 30-second one lasts longer, so it's a bit easier to kill because you've got more time to deal with it. Okay, now we will make a custom spell called Trapper, and that's just going to be Soul Trap on target on touch for 15 seconds. And that's fine. And then we will make one last one, which will be Heal Other. And that will be a Restore Health. And that's going to be on touch. And the magnitude will be 10 to 20. There we go. 10 to 20 for 5 seconds, range is touch, Heal Other. Perfect. So we'll buy that. And that's the custom spells for now. Future Churchy here, just jumping in to say that while you are making your utility spells, also just make sure that you make one called Open. And use the Open effect, do a range touch, magnitude 100. And that's all. See you later in the video. Back to present Churchy. So now it's time to power up a little bit. I'll train and level up to level 11, but feel free to train and level up as much as you want. Just make sure you optimize your leveling with ×5 bonuses to 3 different attributes. And also be aware that if you are leveling much higher than 11, you will need to find some of the more advanced trainers to train your skills higher.
Can we hurry this along?
Okay, so to level up, you need to increase some combination of your major and minor skills a total of 10 times, and then this progress bar will fill up. And you can stack this well past 10. This can have 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 or more out of 10. I believe all the way up to 255. To get a ×5 bonus on an attribute, when you level up, you need to increase a skill or combination of skills governed by that attribute a total of 10 times. So for example, if I was working on endurance, which I will be, I would need to increase heavy armor, medium armor, or spear, or some combination of those 3, a total of 10 times to earn my ×5 bonus on endurance. You can hover over your level to see what bonuses you've earned. I'm not sure if that works in vanilla, but it does in OpenMW. And you can see here I've earned ×2 strength and speed ×2. When you have reached a ×5 bonus on an attribute, just make sure you stop training skills governed by that attribute until you've leveled up. That's just so that you're saving those skill increases for the next level to earn the bonuses on that next level, rather than wasting them on a level that already has a ×5 bonus on a skill. ×5 is the highest bonus that you can get. You can train skills as many times as you like per level, but you can't train them higher than their governing attribute. I'm going to prioritize the endurance, intelligence, and willpower attributes, and at level 11 I'll have 100 endurance, 100 willpower, and 90 intelligence. Endurance is the most important because it determines your life gain per level, and it isn't retroactive in Morrowind. Willpower will make your spells have a higher success chance, and it'll also increase your paralyze and silence resistance, and intelligence will boost your total Magicka pool, and it's significantly more than usual for this character because we have the Atronach birth sign, so we get 15 Magicka per 5 intelligence instead of just 5. The skills I'm going to prioritize training are Alchemy, Destruction, Conjuration, and Heavy Armor. All of those are going to help with the rest of the guide. If you reach a point where a trainer can't train you anymore in a skill, or your skill has reached the same rank as its governing attribute, train up a different skill with the same governing attribute. For example, again, if heavy armor can't be trained anymore, then train medium armor or spear to still earn endurance bonuses. There are plenty of skill trainers in Balmora at the Mages Guild, Fighters Guild, South Wall Corner Club, which is the Thieves Guild, and the Morag Tong Guild, which are a guild of assassins. Also be aware that as a skill's ranks get higher, they cost more to train. You can use the Mr. Popular spell we made to cheapen the costs if you'd like to, cast it and quickly activate the NPC trainer before the effect wears off. You can also make a drain skill spell and drain the skill you want to train by 100 for 1 second to get free or extremely cheap training. That works in vanilla, but not with the mod list I'm using. Assuming you followed this guide though, you shouldn't need to do either of those things and should have well over 100k gold, if not 200k gold, a chunk of which you can freely spend on training. So here's a little demonstration of what the process looks like. Okay, so here I am in the Mages Guild, and I'm going to head over to Ajera, and I'm going to start training Conjuration. I'll only be able to train about 5 ranks of it, because its governing attribute is Intelligence, and I only have 40 Intelligence at the moment. And now if I try and train more, because it's equal to my governing attribute, and that's, yeah, you can see though we've learned ×3 Intelligence, but now what I'll do is I'll start training Alchemy. And Alchemy is much lower because it's a miscellaneous skill. So now you can instantly see the advantage of miscellaneous skills. And I'll train this 5 times. And that should be a ×5 bonus to Intelligence now, and there it is. Okay, so now I'm going to start working on Willpower, and I'm just going to train, straight up train 10 points of Destruction, and that should give me a ×5 bonus to Willpower. I think that's getting close. Maybe a 1 or 2 more, I think. Lost count. Yeah, 1 more.
What assistance do you
There we go. Now we have Intelligence and we have Willpower. Now I'm going to pop over to the Fighters Guild so I can train my Endurance. Well, train skills that will boost my Endurance bonus. So we pop next door. And I'm going to head to this guy. And I will train Heavy Armor to start with.
Okay, I'm listening.
And this should be number 10. And there we go. We now have a ×5 bonus to Intelligence, Willpower, and Endurance. So now I'm just going to head down here, and there are some beds in here. And I'll go to sleep here, and I'll just say until healed. And then we select our attributes we want, so Intelligence, Willpower, and Endurance. And there we go. And that is basically the process. You just keep doing that. So then on my way back out, I will train my Heavy Armor again. And then I'll go back over to the Mages Guild and train up some more spell skills. And just keep rinsing and repeating.
If you want something, now's the time to talk.
Okay guys, so a quick note. If you are following what I'm doing on this character, then you are going to hit a point while you're training up your Endurance to 100, that you're at 95 and you're level 10 and you've got a ×3 bonus, but you've done all the training you can at the Heavy Armor guy there and at the Medium Armor trainer here, and also the Spear trainer downstairs. But we need a little bit more of a bonus. So what you can do is actually just head over to the Moonmoth Legion Fort, and there is a guy there called Larius Varro, and he will be able to train our Medium Armor a bit more. I believe he trains up to like rank 64, and that will be more than enough because we only need a little bit more bonus to get to ×5, and it's the last ×5 bonus we need to reach 100. So we're just going to head east over to the fort and head inside and quickly do that training. And you just come down here into this little part, and there he is. And training, Medium Armor. So we just train a little bit of this. And we're at ×4. A couple more. And ×5. There we go. Alright, now we can head back to Balmora and finish off our training. Okay, so on this last level up here, we have hit a point where we are ×5 intelligence bonus. We've got our endurance now from heading over to the fort. But we've only got 2 willpower, and I've trained everything that I can except for destruction. But also we need 1 more skill increase of our major or minor to level up. So what we can quickly do is train the destruction up to get the bonus. I think that should be... Oh yeah, no, a couple more. 3 more, I think. Alright, we've got our bonuses. And now to get that final little bit of level up, I'm just going to pop back over to the Fighters Guild and level up one of these other skills. So we'll just talk to this lass, and we'll train a level of block.
So what's
And there we go, we've got our level up. And just like that, we are level 11, and we have 100 endurance, 100 willpower, and 90 intelligence. It's a thing of beauty. We got a lot of Magicka to work with. So, at the Balmora Mages Guild, head down to Esterdalen, and then we're going to make a couple of damage spells. So, spell making, and we're going to do Green Cloud, which will be poison, and the range will be target, the magnitude will be 10 to 10 for 10 seconds, and it will be area 5. So we'll make this, and then we're going to make the same spell, but it's going to be Green Cloud 2, 10 to 10 for 10 seconds, and area 5. And there we go. And the reason we're making 2 of the same spell is because we can stack the effects of both of those spells on an enemy, but if you recast the same spell, then it will override it. But because these are 2 different ones, they'll stack together. So we're going to leave the Mages Guild, and we're going to make our way east to the Moonmoth Legion Fort. I'll just do my floating spell and levitate over there. And then as we come into the courtyard, we go left into this building here, into the interior. And then basically we move left and then straight ahead into this back section. And in this back right corner here is the enchanter guy. So cast Mr. Popular to make the enchantments cost way, way less. So we'll cast that. And then we can talk to him. And you can see his disposition's quite high towards us. And now we are going to enchant the Daedric weapon. So the exact values of your enchantments are going to vary depending how much enchantment capacity your weapon has. For damaging stuff, generally higher is going to be better. But there's a few different options that are, should suffice for the rest of the guide depending what you want to do. The first of those options, which is the one I'm actually going to go for, will be poison. And I'm going to do on touch, and I'm going to do a magnitude of 20 to 50 just as a start. Something like that's fine. And you can see here the cast cost. I'm actually going to bring it up to 21. The enchantment capacity, 30 to 66 for 1 second on touch. And you can see there, that's 21 out of 21. Cast cost is 13. We have 300 charges. So that's going to be what I'm going to go for. But there are some other things you can do. So you can see, yeah, now we've got something like this weird mix, Fortify Strength, 77, 80 points for 1 second on self. Fortify Agility, 80 points for 1 second on self. Fortify Blunt Weapon, 60 points for 1 second on self. What something like this does is basically you hit the enemy, and then you get this big buff, and then you should have time to hit them again before the buff expires, because you'll usually be hitting more than once a second, again, depending on what weapon you're using and stuff. But then that basically lets you just keep chaining this and reapplying it, and then just getting all these benefits that are going to make you hit more and do more damage and stuff. So just another handy little combination to play around with. So yeah, that's just another fun one you can do, something like this, calming humanoids, calming creatures, 30 points for 3 seconds on touch. in 15 foot. Oh, and that should be touch as well. This is basically so when you hit an enemy, it's going to just calm them down and they'll stop attacking you. And you can just keep chaining it and basically just beat them to death before they get a chance to attack you, because they keep just de-aggroing from you. So yeah, that's just a few examples of some fun things to play with. There's plenty of more combinations that you can do. You know, just have fun with it, really. You can basically just whip up whatever you want, because the poison spells that we've already just made should actually kind of cover what we need to do for the rest of the guide anyway. But yeah, for this stuff, I'm going to actually just do the poison effect. Okay, so here's my poison staff. I'm doing poison 30 to 66 points for 1 second on touch, and I'm going to call it the poison stick. And then I'm going to enchant, and you can see it's quite cheap to do because we've done our Mr. Popular buff, so we get the price much cheaper. It's very important that you do this just because it means you'll save tons of gold. Alright, let's make that. And now we have our special enchanted staff. So we got our staff, and that's basically the first little bit of enchanting we're going to do. We will do some more later on though. So we're going to head back to Balmora and go to the Silt Strider. And then we travel to Aldaroon. And then from Aldaroon, we're going to travel to Margan. And now we're going to levitate and fly, and we're going to fly north-northeast. And then eventually we're going to, well, pretty quickly, we're going to come across a Dunmer stronghold called Phallus Mayon. And we're going to continue north-northeast past that until we reach another stronghold that's called Valen Vayon. And yeah, then we're going to head inside that fort. You can see there's the Dunmer stronghold. That one is Phallus Mayon, but the one we want to go to is actually further along. So we just keep flying. And I will just pop a Restore Magicka potion just to make sure I've got enough Magicka to cast another Levitate if I need to. So yeah, we just keep cruising northeast, slightly northeast. And there it is there in the distance. The one with the Malakath statue just there in the middle. So to one side, which is the right side or the eastern side, you can see there's that big building. We're actually just going to head inside that big building, and we can just ignore the orcs and stuff running around. They will try and want to attack us, but we can just ignore it and fly on inside. Okay, so in this chamber, in the back left corner, is a full Grandmaster Alchemy Set. And we can actually just hide behind this pillar and then steal it all because she won't see. But I'm just going to dispel and then hide. Sneak. Yep, so I'm sneaking now and I can just grab all this. And just like that, we have a Grandmaster set of alchemy equipment. So we've got our alchemy equipment. We're going to head back outside of Valen Vayon. We'll just cast our Levitate and then we're going to fly north. So we just turn north, and we're very, very quickly going to see a Daedric ruin, which is just here. Basically, it's on the eastern end of a large island, this one, which is just north of the Valen Vayon stronghold, obviously. And we're going to head to this ruin and basically make our way to the eastern side, because on the eastern side of this ruin, just down here, there is this lower entrance, and this is the entrance that we want to go inside. So we're going to go through here into Asadurapal. And then we're going to head straight through to the inner shrine. And then there's enemies in here, but don't worry. We're just going to levitate down here, and then you just interact with the shrine. And that's all you have to do. And now that we've done that, we can basically cast Recall. And then we'll cast Elmsivi Intervention. So there's our Recall. And then we cast Elmsivi Intervention. And we get to enjoy the nice narration. And now we travel from Suran to Vivec via the Silt Strider. So down to Vivec we go. And now we just turn around and talk to the Siltstrider service, Adonasi, and then we ask about Orion Bearclaw. Great, other tales Orion Bearclaw is over. And then we ask about Favren Orion, and then he will say something about him being up at Narmok. So then we are going to travel to Balmora, and then we turn around and we travel to Aldaroon, and then we're going to levitate and fly southwest to Narmok. You can also just go from Balmora, but Aldaroon's actually slightly closer. So off we go. And we just continue southwest, and you can see our destination there, because we've already been there. And there's Pemini from earlier. She's still hanging out there. Okay, so now that we're in Narmok, just talk to any NPC in town and ask about Favren Orion, and then they will tell you that he's off ridding them of some marauding netches, and then we just continue south, sort of southwest out of town, behind the back here, and over this way. And you can see a couple of dead bull netches in the distance. And here he is here with his henchmen. Before we interact with him, just make sure you've topped up your Magicka. I might just do that for a minute. I'll actually pop 2 of them. And you can see that the potions stack together as well if you apply separate potions. And I'm also actually going to hotbar a couple of spells now. So we'll hotbar our green cloud spells. I just clicked F1 to bring up my hotbar menu. Not sure what it will be for you. And then we do green cloud 2. And we may as well put a healing spell on here as well, just in case we need it. So in my case, it's going to be half heal. And then we should put our, we'll have potions in those slots later. And I usually like to have my levitate spell on 9. So we'll put floater on 9. For now, on 8, we can just put our Magicka potions. Okay. And pop a quick save. Maybe pop 1 more potion. And then we can equip our green cloud spell. And now talk to him. And then ask him about Karag Grokar. And then you can say either of these. He's going to want to fight you either way. So I'm just going to say, I come on the behest of Malakath to end this lie. And then he's going to want to fight. And then we just kill them. So cast your spell at them. And you should be able to whittle them down pretty quick. Ooh. Might just have to pop a couple of potions. And then let's try and get a good one. And now we'll swap back to the first green cloud. Pop a couple more potions. And you can levitate while you're doing this just to make life easier. Alright, well 2 of them are down. And we just got this guy to finish off. Let's smack him with that. Maybe even try and hit him with the staff a few times. And he is done for. So yeah, once he's dead, you'll get that journal update. And basically then you can head back to the shrine. So what we're actually going to do is just head back into Narmok. And then we'll travel by ship to Kull. So now we talk to her and we go travel, Kull. And then we'll fly and we're going to basically levitate again. And we're going to fly northeast back up to the ruin. You can also actually fast travel from Kull here to Dagenfell. And then fly southwest. Because Dagenfell's over here basically. But it's about the same distance between them from where the town is. So we'll just levitate from here. And yeah, be on our way. Up we go. And you can see there's the marker for Valenvarion, and we know it's just north of that, so making our way back to Asurdirapal. So once again, we're going to head to that eastern side of the ruin and head inside that entrance there. And then we just make our way back into the inner shrine and we head back down to the statue and activate it. And then he will give us the Helm of Bearclaw. And here it is. So we can equip that and then we can cast Recall. Someone fell down. And then we will cast Civi Intervention. And here we are back in Civilization with a very nice helmet. So we're going to travel by Siltstrider from Saran to Balmora. And now we're going to head to the northwest corner of town, which is up over there. Because there's a alchemist shop there that we want to go to. You can come up these stairs at the back here. Then we just go straight across here, and there's the alchemist shop. So we're going to head inside. And we're going to go walk up to the merchant, and then we'll cast our Mr. Popular spell. And then quickly activate her before the effect ends, and then we can barter and get some better deals. So basically, we're going to buy Frost Salts and Void Salts from her, and then we can re-enter the barter screen and just buy more and keep repeating infinitely. I'm probably going to just buy about 60 of each, but you can get as much as you want and make as many potions as you want. So Comberry can be used as a cheaper alternative to the Void Salts, and in vanilla, some merchants infinitely restock that. I believe the merchant at Alderun in the Giant Mushroom does, the alchemist there. But in the mod list I'm playing, that wasn't an option and didn't seem to work, so that's why I'm doing Frost Salts and Void Salts. But basically we'll just buy our supplies of these, buy the Void Salts, and I'll buy about 60 of them. Okay, so now that we have our 60 Frost Salts and our 60 Void Salts, we're going to equip our Alchemist Apex spell, and then we'll cast that. And then we very quickly open the inventory before the effect wears off. And then we are ready to do some alchemy. So just click on your Mortar and Pestle, and then click it onto your character, and then that will open the alchemy screen. And then just click on the Frost Salts and the Void Salts, and that puts them into the Ingredients tab. And then we just put in the quantity of potions we want to try to make, 60, and then you just hit Create. And then we made a bunch of potions, and it looks like we succeeded in all of them. So yeah, now we have our 60 very powerful Restore Magicka potions, and you can just make as many as you want, and you can come back here and buy more Frost Salts and Void Salts whenever you need to make more of them, so you've now got your infinite supply of Magicka potions. Alright, so let's head back outside the Alchemist now, and I will show you another way that you can restore your Magicka if you are using the Atronach Birth Sign. So just going to head over to the temple, and usually you can do this at any temple. You just need to find the Shrine of St. Veloth or Tribunal Shrine, because they have this spell that you need. So you just come up to one of these shrines, in this case the Shrine of the Tribunals upstairs here, so you pay for a blessing, it's only 35 gold, and then you want Civi Restoration. And then what that does, you can see there my Magicka instantly filled up. It casts a bunch of Restore Attribute spells, one for each attribute, and they're like 100 magnitude, so they're very powerful. And because we have 50% spell absorption, there's a high chance that you're going to absorb a bunch of those spells, and then your Magicka will just rocket back up to full. Now, basically, Civi Intervention takes you to the nearest temple, and then you can just go inside and you can activate it. You also have Divine Intervention, which is another way we can do this. Divine Intervention will take you to Imperial Cult Shrines, so I'll cast it now.
Make it quick, Nord.
And it will teleport us. And it's taken us to the Moonmoth Legion Fort, because this is the nearest Imperial Cult Shrine area. And then basically there'll be someone in here. In this case, it's the bloke in this room. But you can find a Imperial Cult altar, and then you... same thing again, make a donation, and it will have a Restore Attributes blessing, and you just do that blessing, and same thing again. the Restore Attributes spell from the Imperial Cult Altar is exactly the same as the Elmsivy Intervention spell, which just restores every attribute by a huge magnitude and gives you heaps of Magicka back. That's just something that's worth knowing, I guess. Alright, so now we're going to travel from Balmora to Vivec, so we'll head back out here and we'll make our way back to Balmora and use the Silt Strider. So we travel from Balmora to Vivec, and now we'll just cast our Levitate again, and we're just going to fly up one floor into the Foreign Quarter. Whoop, bit of a loady load, and then we're going to just head into the Wasteworks. So we'll head into here, into the Wasteworks, and then we just move forward into this middle room, and we go left, we head down these stairs, and we go into the Canal Works, and then when we come down here, we go left, come down these stairs, and then we go right, and then left, and here is Jarasha, the healer's shop. So we're going to come in here, and same thing again. You don't really need to for this one because the ingredients are so cheap anyway, but we're going to cast our Mr. Popular spell. So we'll cast that, and then really quickly open the dialogue with the NPC before the effect ends. Then we just go barter, and from him we're going to buy Marshmarrow and Salt Rice, because when you combine those, that will regenerate your health. Gives you the restore health effect. And we can, same thing again, just buy as many as we want because these are respawning ingredients for this NPC. And I'm just going to buy about 60 again, much like I did for the Restore Magicka. Actually, I might just buy 30. I don't need as many for this. Alright, and now we cast our Alchemist's Apex again. And then we do the same thing again. Open the alchemy menu and put the ingredients in, write out the amount of potions we want to make, and then we create 30, and it's done it. So yeah, now we have 30 very powerful restore health potions, and they'll take care of your everyday healing needs. We are going to enchant some insane restore health gear in a minute, but yeah, it's just handy to know that you can make health potions if you need to. The other great thing about these potions and the Magicka potions, you can actually sell these potions for a profit. The Magicka potions, way less so, because the Frost Salts and Void Salts are much more expensive. But the Restore Health potions, you can see the value on this potion is 274, and we paid absolutely nothing for the ingredients. Even without the Mr. Personality, Mr. Popular spell, if I buy one of each ingredients, it's going to cost me 2 gold. So, you know, you pay 2 gold, and then you're making a potion that sells, you know, its value is 274. So you can see that basically the Restore Health potions, you've got a way to make infinite gold with those potions by creating and selling them for massive profit, if you want to do that. So pop some quick saves while you're doing this process, just so if things go sideways, you don't lose too much. We're going to be fighting some Golden Saints, and they sometimes reflect spells and stuff. So you can do this anywhere, but I've made my way back to Balmora, and I'll be doing it in the northwestern corner of town, and basically that's because there's the alchemist right there if I need more potions, and we've got the Halalo Manor here, which is the storage area. And speaking of storage, I'm actually going to come in here and just grab back these Grand Soul Gems, and then I'll just head back outside. Okay, so on your hotbar, just make sure you've got any offensive spells you want to use. Make sure you've got Saint 30 to summon the Golden Saint for 30 seconds. You can use Saint 15 if you want to summon it for 15 and you're feeling confident that you can kill it. We've also got Trapper, which is the Soul Trap for 15 seconds spell we made. But if you're not feeling too confident, then you can actually just change to the Soul Trap spell, the like pre-made one that we bought, because that's for 60 seconds. So I'll just do that, because it's probably going to work out better with where I'm currently at. The other ones to make sure of are that we've got Restore Health slotted in there and our Restore Magicka, and we're basically ready to go. Okay, so I'm going to summon a Golden Saint, and then I'll cast Soul Trap on it, and then we will cast some Poison Clouds on it. I'll spam a Magicka potion, and then I'll get out my weapon and start smacking it. And hopefully we'll take care of it. Okay, it decided to dispel at the last second there, so we didn't capture a soul. That's totally fine. Annoying thing that these guys can do is they can actually, cast Dispel, and they can also not only cast Dispel, but they sometimes reflect spells. So just be aware of that and watch out for it while you are doing this. But by the same token, it doesn't really matter because eventually you'll be able to do what you need to do because you've got a way to make infinite restore Magicka potions and you can just keep spamming this out for as long as you need to. So we summon them, cast this, do our spells, grab out our weapon, start smacking it. It's done the Dispel again, so I'll do the Soul Trap again. I think it Dispelled again, so we'll just Soul Trap one more time, do another one of these, and there we go. You trapped a soul. And you can see it's filled a Grand Soul Gem, and it's worth 80,000 gold, but we want it for the enchanting power, because the Golden Saints, they actually have a soul that is powerful enough to allow for constant effect enchantments, and that's what we're after. And basically we want to continue this process until we've got about 7 of these. So you'll need at least 7 of these filled Grand Soul Gems to do the enchanting that we're going to do, but having a few extra is quite handy just in case you need to sell one to get a bit of cash. Another really useful thing about the Golden Saint summons is that once you've killed one, if you're quick, you can actually loot the body before it disappears. We're going to use this to get a Daedric Shield and a Daedric Tower Shield. Both shields have great enchantment capacity, with the Daedric Tower Shield being the highest capacity in the game. You can also use Golden Saints to farm loot to sell, so you now have another way to get infinite money, if you so desire. So you just resummon a Golden Saint until it has a piece of gear that you want, and then you kill it, and you try to loot the body. And don't worry if you're too slow, it's easy enough to just summon another one, kill it, and try again. During this process, you might need to repair your gear, particularly the Boots of Blinding Speed, because they can break very easily. Also, if your enchanted weapon runs out of charge while you're doing this, you can wait a day or two to recharge it. Raising your enchanting skill will actually make your enchanted item deplete more slowly, and you can train enchant at Ajira in the Mages Guild. This whole process may take a while, but it's going to be worth it. When you do get the shields, just store them in the storage area of the Halalu Manor. So now that we've got the shields we're after, a Daedric Shield and a Daedric Tower Shield, and we have the Grand Soul Gems, at least 7 of these filled with summoned Golden Saint Souls, it's time to do a bit of clothing shopping. We'll visit a couple of different clothing shops to get some exquisite clothing. You're going to need to get the following: an exquisite amulet and exquisite ring, 2 of those, exquisite pants, exquisite shirt, and exquisite skirt. You can quick save and quick load before activating a merchant to re-roll what they might have. So we're going to head to this clothing shop just here in the southwest corner of Balmora. And I'll pop a quick save and I'll talk to her, barter, and I'm just going to search exquisite. And there we go. We've got a lot of the things we need already. So we're going to get exquisite amulet, exquisite ring, exquisite shirt, and exquisite skirt. And then we just need to remember which ones we've got. So we'll go offer. That's fine. Okay, so now we're back outside and we're going to travel to Aldaroon. Travel to Aldaroon. And now we're going to make our way up and inside that giant mushroom. I'll just show you the usual route to get there. Just go up the ramp. You can kind of cut across anyway, but yeah, just go up these ramps and we make it up to the giant mushroom and we head inside, and there's a clothing shop in here that we're going to go inside. Just here on the left. And now we'll see what she's got. Exquisite and perfect. She has the pants. We need those, so we'll buy the pants. And now we have a skirt, a shirt, and pants, and an amulet, and a ring. So we just need one more ring. So now we're actually going to return to Balmora. So back to Balmora. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure if this process I'm about to do will work in vanilla. But with the mod list that I have, it seems to let you travel between the towns and then come back, and then they might have some more clothing. But if not, you should be at the very least able to get 5 of the 6 things you need. And that should be enough to do what you got to do. So I'll quick save and I'll talk to her again. And I'll go exquisite. And she hasn't reset anything this time. Okay, so we've quick loaded. And now we'll barter and we'll search exquisite. And she's got an amulet, so we'll load again until we get a ring. Another amulet again. Okay, so I'm loading a quick save. Let's see what she's got. Hey, this time she spawned an exquisite ring. It's probably going to be helpful if you do a couple of different saves so that you can kind of jump between them, because it seems like sometimes they get sort of locked into what they're going to spawn, and then you might have to go back to another town or come back if you haven't got a couple of quick saves to bounce between. In this case, I've loaded an older quick save that then has actually triggered her having the ring that I need. So I'm going to buy that exquisite ring.
Care to tell
And
me
now we
about
have
this?
an amulet, 2 exquisite rings, and we have our shirt, our skirt, and our pants, which is everything that we needed. So I'm going to grab my shields that we collected from here. And while I'm here, I'm actually going to drop off my alchemy equipment. We won't need that right now. And we're very full up on weight. So we'll drop those off, and I'll drop these grand soul gems off that I'm not using right now, and that's fine. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I've dropped off my alchemy gear and bits I'm not using. Like I'll drop these off as well. These random amulets that I've got. May as well drop off these scrolls because I don't really need these anymore. And yeah, that looks good. And we've got our shields. So now we're actually going to head over to Moonmoth Legion Fort again. So I'll cast my float spell. And now we'll head back inside the fort and go to the enchanter. And here we are.
What's this about?
So we'll pop a quick save and we will cast Mr. Popular. And then quickly activate him, and then we'll go to the enchanting menu. So here we are on the enchanting menu, and we've cast Mr. Popular. And we're going to get cheap prices for our enchantments. And now we're going to create a series of restore health effect, constant effect items. So we'll start with the awesome shield that we're going to make. So we'll go for the Daedric Tower Shield. The soul will obviously be the Summoned Golden Saint. We're going to change this cast when used to constant effect, and we'll scroll down to restore health. And then range is obviously self, and the magnitude is going to be 6 to 12. And there we go. That's all we have to do. And it's still going to cost us 37,989, but it's a lot cheaper than it would have been. And also we can sell a Grand Soul Gem back soon after we do some more enchantments to get all our money back anyway. And we'll call this Life Shield. So we buy that, go back into the enchanting menu. Now we'll make a life amulet. So we'll use the amulet and we'll get another one of these souls. And it's going to be life amulet. And then we change this to constant effect, go down to restore health. And this one, the magnitude is going to be 3 to 6. Cool, and that all looks good. 19k, perfect, so we'll buy that. And now we're going to make the rings. So we'll get the ring, and this will be life ring. The soul, constant effect, restore health. And the ring is also going to be 3 to 6 magnitude. Cool, buy that. And we'll make another ring. Constant effect, restore health. 3 to 6. Perfect. And now, since we've spent a lot of money, you can see he's got 96k. So we're actually just going to sell one of these. And then you see that went to 60. You can easily just make it 80k. And that'll be fine. I might even try for 90k. 90k offer. And he accepted it. Because we've got our Mr. Popular buff on at the moment. So perfect. We got most, or if not all of our money back. And we can enchant the next item, which is going to be a life shirt. So we'll put the shirt in. Put the soul in. And we'll call it life shirt. And then this is going to be constant effect, restore health self, and it's just going to be magnitude 2. 2 to 2. And that's totally fine. Life shirt, yep, all looks good. We'll buy that. And now we make the pants. Same thing again, life pants. And it's just going to be 2. Oops, we got to make sure we click constant effect, restore health, magnitude 2. And that's fine. And then, last but not least, we'll make the skirt. Life skirt. Constant effect. Restore health, magnitude 2. Awesome, and we'll do that. So while we're here, we're also going to enchant a Daedric shield as follows. Melta shield. The item is the Daedric shield. Make sure you use the Daedric shield for this and not the tower shield, because the tower shield is the life enchantment one. And the soul is a summoned golden saint. That's fine. And we want to make sure that the type of cast for the enchantment is a cast when used and not a constant effect. And then the effect we're going to use is disintegrate armor. And then the magnitude, we've got the range is touch and the magnitude is 93 to 100 and the duration is 5. And that's all looking good. So then we will buy that. And then one last time we'll come into the barter menu and we will sell this last one of these that we've got just to get our money back. And we'll just call this 54k. And that'll be just fine. He's getting a really good deal on that one. But then as you can see, we're still running around with 100k plus gold and we've done all our enchanting and basically got it for free. So now it's time to equip all our really cool enchanted gear. So just chuck it all on. And you can put the life shield on for a sec. But yeah, at this point you're basically immortal and you've got just insane life regen. So now we're actually going to head back outside and go back over to Balmora. And then we're really quickly going to just store the life shield in the Halalo mana storage area. Alright. So we drop this off in here because we don't need it right now. And we're going to be picking up some heavy stuff. And then we can equip our Melta shield. And now we're going to go to the Mages Guild. So just make your way down, head into the Mages Guild, and we're going to head to the teleporter service.
Speak, traveler.
So we go here, and then we are going to teleport to Sadrith Mora Wolverine Hall Mages Guild. And then we're going to just exit outside. So we levitate outside here, and then we're going to fly southwest. So we're basically heading down here. So we just go this way. And you can already see it in the distance there on the horizon, but we're basically flying towards that big mushroom tower thing. It's this mushroom tower here on this island. Just a short hop over here. And we're going to head inside. So we make our way over here. And then we're going to head inside, and this is Telfir. So we go into the Onyx Hall, and then we go to the right here, and we head up into the Hall of Fear. And then we fly up this little chimney, and then we find Divyath Fear, and here he is.
Seek, traveler.
So we'll pop a quick save, and then what you want to do is basically we're going to be just melting his armor off so that we can grab it. But when we cast it on him, our Melta shield spell, which we're going to equip now, basically he's going to go hostile and he'll start fighting us, but that's totally fine. Just make sure you don't kill him. And if the Atronach he summons starts hurting him too much and his health is getting a bit too low, just cast your custom heal other spell that we made a long time ago. But yeah, just cast that on him to top up his health a bit. And it should be all good. So we'll do this. We'll start this now. And he won't really be able to hurt us or his minion here because we've got such high health regen and we've got all these resistances and stuff. But basically, you just cast, you just keep casting the enchantment on him, and then you will run out. But give it a few seconds between casts just so you get the full effect. And then when your item is out of charge, all we have to do is head down. He may even jump down after us, which will be perfect, because then it'll be easy to get to. Yeah, he has. Perfect. So we just go back out here into the Onyx Hall, and you just wait for a couple of days until your shield's regened its enchantment charge. So where are we at? We're at 189 out of 400, so we'll sleep for another 24 hours. We'll just wait. And we're getting there, so we'll just wait like another little bit. Why not? And we're fully charged again, so now we can go back in. And we just cast this on him, give it our 5 seconds for it to wear off. And then we cast it again. And we give it a little bit. And then we cast it again. And eventually you'll see him start to take off gear. Like, there you go, his chest piece, his cuirass is gone now. And we'll cast this one more time. And we should be out of charge now, so we'll just head back outside. Actually, I'll quickly demonstrate as well. If his health is going down a bit because his silly Atronach's hitting him, just cast the Heal Other spell on him. And there you go, you can see we're already sending his health right back up. And we'll just give him one more. And that's fine. And then we'll just equip our Melta shield again, that spell. We'll just wedge our way past, or lure this in here for a second so I can get past. Get out of my way, Atronach. And we just, once again, go back out here. Just rest for like 2-3 days. And the shield should be recharged. Yes, it is. Perfect. So back in we go. Oh, he dodged that one. It's fine. Just cast on him. And now his pauldrons are starting to come off, which is perfect. Because the pauldrons is actually what I'm after. Alright, there goes that one. And same thing again. We just go back out. And we wait for another 3 days. And we cast the spell on him again. And now his gloves are gone. We're nearly there. This might be the last one. And just give him another cast after about 5 seconds. And another cast. And there goes his pants. And we'll give it a couple of seconds. And then one more cast. And hopefully his boots will go off. Yep, there go his boots. And that's perfect. We've broken all of his gear now. So the next step now is to basically cast Be Calm on him and then cast Sneaky. So we're going to be able to pickpocket him. So we'll slot those in now. I'll go to my magic menu and I'll equip the Be Calm spell we made. And then in this one, I will put Sneaky, which was that handy dandy sneaky spell we made. There it is. So basically, we cast Be Calm on him. And then we cast Sneaky, and then we just got to get closer to him. He'll probably walk off into a corner, and he might keep doing, you know, aggroing again like this, but you just cast Be Calm again, cast Sneaky again. Make sure you're sneaking. Oh, it's gone a bit weird. So yeah, you just cast that, and then cast this, and then you're sneaking, and now you have a chance to grab stuff from him. Now, this might actually take a while, because there's a high chance that he just detects you, and then he aggroes again, but you just keep casting Be Calm and Sneaky, and then you will eventually succeed in taking a piece of gear. I'm just going to take the pauldrons, but you can see here you can get a full set of Daedric armor minus a helmet. There are 3 different types of helmets that you can find out in the world, but that's not going to be covered in this guide. But yeah, so I'll try and take a pauldron. I failed. That's totally fine. And you definitely don't want him to die because, yeah, he's involved with quests and stuff. And we're sneaking, nothing there. Just spam opening and closing the inventory. And eventually he might have the item you want. Okay, he's aggroed again. Be calm. Sneaky. Okay, here we go. So try and take a pauldron. Failed. Just try and keep opening his inventory. See if he's got one of the things you want. Nope. Yay, we finally got one of the pieces. Okay, and now we just need the other pauldron. Hey, finally got the second piece. So yeah, as you can see, this can take quite a while, but I've gotten the bits I want. And one other thing, now that we've got those, is that I don't need the Melta shield anymore, so I'm actually just going to dump it here for now, because I want to go upstairs and get something else. Okay, so while you are here getting your Daedric gear that you want, you should also levitate back up the chimney and just go to this wardrobe here, this closet, and then cast your open spell on it. And don't worry about the trap. And then open that. And you've got yourself the Savior's Hide, which gives you a constant effect, 60% resist Magicka. So a great thing you can do is mix wearing this with the spell that the Lord's Mail can cast. And then you can have, you know, 80 to 90% resist Magicka for when you might need that. If you're doing that, you won't have the fire res from the Dragonbone Cuirass because you'll have Savior's Hide equipped. But it's, yeah, it's another really awesome item to have. And just even more resistances. So, very, very cool. So while you are doing this, if you happen to come back later and he's hostile to you, but you're doing a quest or something and you need to talk to him, you can just cast Be Calm on him, and then you can cast Mr. Popular. And then, if you talk to him, you should have, he should have enough, you know, disposition and stuff to talk to you about stuff or whatever. So yeah, you should be set for that. One other thing is that you'll actually have to repair the gear that you take, the Daedric gear. You're going to have to repair it before you can actually use it. And now we'll chuck our awesome Daedric pauldrons on. So, make your way from Talfir back to Sadrith Mora. And we're going to head to the docks. And you can see the ships there in the distance already. Alright, so here we're at the docks, and we're going to go to this ship on the left. And then we'll talk to this person.
Speak, traveler.
And we're going to travel to Dagenfell. And then we'll turn around and talk to this lass, and we will travel to Col. And then we'll talk to Severe on the docks here. And now we'll go to Fort Frostmoth, and that will take us to Solstheim. And I will really quickly just wait till it's daytime so you can more clearly see what I'm about to do. Alright, and now we'll levitate again. And we are going to just fly north across the island. And then on this right side tip here is the Scar Village, which is where we're heading. So off we go. Alright, and here we are at the Scar Village. So we're just going to head over to this western side of the village. And then we're going to head into Lassner's house. And we'll talk to him. Just ask him about Old Man's Anguish and then say, I'll help you. And then you can go back outside, and then we're just going to fly southeast over this first rock face and then over this second rock face. And then you can see just down there at the bottom is a hole, which is an entrance to Rimhull, which is where we want to go. There's a couple of skeletons to fight, but if you just poke your head a little bit further into the cave, just here, you can see Timval right there. And we'll talk to him, ask him about Mantle of Woe, and then you can just say, I've been sent by your father, take off that robe, or you can fight him by picking one of the options. So we'll say that, he gives us the robe, and that's great. Now we've got the robe. You can go back to Lasner if you want to, but we don't have to. Magic resistance deals with most of the negative effects on the Mantle of Woe, except for the sun damage. So before we equip it, we're going to cast our magic resist spell. So we'll do that, and then we can equip this. Resisted the magic, resisted the magic. The only thing it doesn't protect you from is the sun damage. And that's why we stacked so many restore health effects on our enchanted gear. And we haven't got the shield on at the moment. That's back at Balmora right now. So you'd have another 6 to 12 going on, which would be plenty. And we'll go pick it up in a minute anyway. So now that we've got the robe, we can just cast Recall and we can get ourselves on our way back home. And then I'm just going to cast Elmsivy Intervention. So just be aware that because of a quirk with Morrowind, if you wait or rest or fast travel with the Mantle of Woe equipped, you're going to die. There is a mod that does a rough fix for this, which I will leave a link to in the description. If you don't want to use a mod, just take the robes off before waiting, resting, or fast traveling, and then when you are ready, cast your resist magic spell and re-equip the robes.
Where would you like to go?
You should also think about turning off the hit fader effect, which causes the constant red flicker while you take sun damage. For OpenMW users, go to Documents, My Games /OpenMW and open the settings CFG file and add the line hit fader equals 0 under the GUI header. For vanilla, open the Morrowind ini in the game's install folder and change show hit fader equals 1 to show hit fader equals 0. So now that all that is dealt with, you can finally enjoy the insane Magicka bonus this robe provides. In combination with your Atronach birth sign, once you get 100 intelligence, you'll have 800 Magicka to play around with, and you can very quickly get to 100 intelligence using the process covered earlier in the guide in the Train and Optimize Level Ups chapter. And you can see this character already has 720 Magicka, because I'm up at 90 intelligence. I'm just back in the Halalo Manor in Balmora, and I'm just going to retrieve my life shield from the crate here and put that back on, and maybe grab my alchemy gear as well. And I'll just drop off the Savior's Hide for now. Beautiful. So we've finally come to the end of the guide. You've got some insane gear with crazy health regeneration and a huge Magicka pool. You've got some really nice immunities and resistances and some spell absorption, and you know how to make infinite restore Magicka and restore health potions. You've also got a couple of ways to get as much gold as you want and to make as many constant effect enchantments as you want. And I haven't even touched the crazy game-breaking loop you can do with alchemy and some Fortify effects, and there's still a lot of crazy spell-making you can do, but I think you're OP enough as it is at this point, so I'll leave all that for you to discover. There's also a ton of cool artifacts and bits and pieces that we didn't even look at, and we barely did any quests. So I hope you enjoy mucking around, making some spells and enchanting some items, and just generally wandering around being crazy powerful and doing some more artifact hunting and exploring. I hope this guide was useful and entertaining, but that is it for this one. Have a good day or night, whichever it may be, and I'll see you in the next video.